Hi again everybody, just a follow up to the first video. Here's another photograph that I'm going to fire through and edit. This one was taken end of August, I think it was, at Glenskirley Castle. This is straight out of the camera, taken on my Canon 5D Mark III, my 17-40 f4 lens, 17mm, f6.3, 1/200th of a second. It was lit using two Elinchrom Quadra flash packs. You can see one down here. First one is through a Elinchrom Maxi Light, which is my favourite modifier. It's absolutely fantastic, gives a cracking light, some cracking contrast, and some nice shadows. My second one is behind them, which is on a stand, and it's just bare, just to give them a rim light, and just to light the ground and stuff up behind them. It was quite a rushed shot because we nipped out just after dinner, just before the evening guests were due to arrive, so we only had a few minutes to fire through some pictures. I'd have probably liked a bit more time to set this up, but it was just kind of on the whim of things. You'll see that I did take quite a few shots down here, various different poses and close-ups and stuff, and I'm going to go through and edit this. I thought I'd do this one because it's a wee bit more involved. I need to obviously remove this light stand and modifier, and this car here as well. So I'll dive in. This is straight out of the camera. I've just put everything back to as it was. There's nothing been done to this so far. As you can see, I've basically exposed for the sky, to get some detail in the clouds, which will bring out short and raw, so everything is very flat, so we're going to bring the details out in that. So I'm just going to fire through and do my usual thing. I'm just going to bring the blacks up a wee bit, bring the exposure up a good bit. I'm going to take down the highlights just so we can pull a bit more detail out of the clouds in the building here. Push the blacks down a bit more actually. And that's pretty much all I would do again in Lightroom. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll just maybe change the crop a wee bit, just turn that round a wee bit. I'm going to leave it as it is. I could fix it so that these were upright, but I like the kind of the aspect ratio in it. I like the castle kind of falling away from us there. So we're going to just bring this into Photoshop and do the bits and pieces in there. So bring this into Photoshop. Now I've got this set up to bring it in to Photoshop in Pro Photo colour space, I think it is, and that preserves most of the colours, but when I export it I always convert it, one for my website and two for print. It saves a bit of hassle later on organising it. So first thing we do is we'll take out this car, and we'll deal with the light stand in a wee second. So as I say, the first thing I always do when removing things is to try the content away. So I've just duplicated my background layer. I'm just going to quickly draw around it. I know for a fact this isn't going to come up well. It's going to struggle with this bit here. So we'll press backspace. Oops, let's just try that again, and we will fill that with content aware, and we'll see what kind of job it does. Right, so it's obviously made a bit of an arse of it, so we'll undo that, and we'll bring out the clone stamp tool. So all I'm going to do is just continue the tree down here. I generally don't spend too much time doing the edits with the clone stamp, because most of the times all I'm really taking out is the odd object. In this case, the car. I don't bother getting into too much detail. If the client picks this for one of their wedding photos for their album, then yeah, if it needs to, I'll do a bit more to it. But all I'm going to do is quickly just edit this. It's in the corner anyway. It's in the shadows, so we're not really worrying about it too much. I'm just going to bring a few of these branches in here just to make it more aesthetically pleasing, and we'll just bring a bit of shadow along here, just like that. Right, so we'll leave that as it is at the moment. Now, obviously the hardest bit here is going to be round about the dome here, because we need to obviously do the window and then some of the brickwork here. So I'll start down at the bottom, and we'll take out the bottom of the light stand and this wire here. So again, I'm just going to use the clone stamp. I'll probably remove these posts and the shadows as well, but we'll do that in a wee second. So we'll just continue the shadows up here, and then I'm going to just get rid of this, and then we'll do a bit over here as well, and I'm just going to bring in I'm going to bring in and fill this again with content aware, just to see how it goes. Cool, that's okay. As I said, I don't spend ages in Photoshop. I'm actually doing this a lot slower because I'm doing this wee video, but normally I would just fire through these and get them done quite quick. So that looks alright. And I think, just to show you something a bit different, I think we'll use the spot healing brush for this wire, which again is a great tool for removing things. You can just drag it down, or what I do is I just click on a point, hold down shift, and then you can create a line and just drag it down. Every so often you'll need to go back over it like that, but it does a really good job of filling in. Again, it saves you a bit of hassle, so we'll try it with this as well. Make the brush a wee bit bigger, and we'll start here and we'll drag it all the way to the top. That's not bad, not bad. And I think we'll go back into the clone stamp, and I'll try and fix this a wee bit here. Just fixing the shadows, and then here we go. We're going to do this up here. So there's a couple of ways of doing it. What we can do is we can make a selection and copy one of the windows and move it over. I'll show you quickly how we do that. So if we roughly draw around one of the windows, I'm on a Mac, so Command J will create a new, it will copy that to a new layer, and then we can move it over. So we can do something like that, which is okay, and then we can fix round about it. If I was going to do that, create a mask, and then we just want to clean up the outsides of it. So we can drop down the opacity and make sure that the windows line up alright. But as you can see, we might need to just skew this ever so slightly. So we want to just skew this over this way, just because of the aspect ratio. I'm saying aspect ratio, it's just the way it's been shot with a wide angle. So like that, we'll bring the opacity back up, and then we'll just fix round about this mask here. Again, don't spend ages on it. So that's okay there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in with the clone stamp again, and we're going to fix this brickwork here. So I'm going to sample a little bit there, and all we're going to do is just continue this over, just to about there. Just make this a wee bit smaller and just fix the brickwork up here. So I want to just try and, again, we're in quite far here, so you're not really going to notice this when it's, the client's not really going to notice this when they're looking at their final image, and they really need to be knowing what they're looking for here. So I'm just going to continue this line all the way up to the very top, like that. And then again, we can just come in and use our selection here. We'll do something like this, and we'll fill that with content aware, and it should be okay there. Yeah, that's not bad. So that's us just need to fix this wee bit here, but just to give you an idea, this is the before, and this is the after. Obviously I need to fix that, but just gives you an idea. I could probably do this in about 3 or 4 minutes, and get it to somewhere where I'd be happy with. Obviously we've taken a bit of time because I'm talking you through this here, but I'm just going to go back in and fix this. So we're just going to fix this dark line here, and then we'll come in here and we'll sample from about here, and we'll just draw down something like this, and I'd be happy with that. That's not bad for me. So again, if you didn't know that the light stand was there, you really wouldn't. Your eye wouldn't be drawn to any part of this building here. I mean, to me it looks okay. I mean, if you were splitting hairs, you would go in and remove kind of one of these just to make it kind of so these two aren't identical. But I mean, I'm happy with that. What we'll do is we'll quickly go in and we'll remove all these posts, and then I'll do a wee bit more editing, and then that'll be us. So again, what we can do is we can flatten that if we're happy. So again, I'll just show you. This is how it was brought into Photoshop from Lightroom. We'll go back in and show you the original. I'll just put this to, oops, bring this down to 0 again. So this is how it was shot in camera. This is how I shot it, and this is after editing in Lightroom. So this is it taken into Photoshop here. Remove the car and the light stand and add in the window, and that's pretty much how I would export it like that there. But what we'll do is, for the sake of it, we could probably fix this grass and a wee bit of this here. But again, I don't really usually spend too much time on these kind of things. We'll quickly remove these. We'll fix that in a wee second. And I'll do the last one with another tool that I use, or what I used to use. I don't use it so much now. It was one of the first tools that I started using when I was cloning, and it is the patch tool, which you can find here. So what you do is you basically make a sample of the thing that you want to get rid of, and then you just drag it, and it will sample from somewhere beside it, and you'll get a not bad result there. Just do this as well. This is going to just mess up our shadows a wee bit. So again, in with the clone tool, and we'll just fix this grass and stuff. Bring this down a little bit. Again, I'm just taking my time with this just to give you the idea of what I'm doing. So I'm just sampling round about and just copying some of the background here. Now you can see here that because I am sampling, we're getting quite a lot of big dirty marks here. So what I would do with that is take either a selection of it and copy it, or what you can do, I mean, just to show you another kind of thing you can do is to take, I mean, this is pretty clean, this bit of road here. So what we can do is we can duplicate that, and we can move it over to here. Just fix this up a wee bit, something like that, and then we'll just create a layer mask, and we'll just brush back in the stuff we want to keep. So obviously the dress, and then we can quickly just do a wee bit like that, and the grass at the front. and let's just get rid of some of our splodges that we had there, just like that. And finally, I mean, you can remove. You could go to town. Same with every photograph. You can over edit. You can take out. I could take out these parking stands. Well, we actually need to fix this gate, this fence here. I never noticed that. So we'll just go into this layer here. We'll fix this fence. So all we're going to do is just sample from here, and we'll just drag this over to about there. We'll just get rid of this. This no parking. Just get rid of that as well, since it's over here. Now, I've never done any courses on Photoshop. I've never done any seminars or anything on it. I've been to a couple of photography seminars where the guy who was doing it done a bit of photoshopping, but most of this stuff is all stuff that I've picked up myself. And as I say, I can rattle through my signature shots in no time. What I do is I do all my editing in Photoshop as it is, just do my colour balancing, my saturation, my contrast, all that kind of stuff. Export the files in JPEG format into a folder, and then whatever ones that I need to go in and edit, so remove light stands or anything, then I'll bring them into Photoshop. I'm just going to fix our dress here. Forgot she had a bit of a train. We'll just fix that wee bit in there, and that's us. What I then do at this point, to get a bit more detail out of the background and the clouds and stuff, is to bring it into our Colour Effects Pro. So I'm just going to bring that up. So Colour Effects Pro, and we'll do the tonal contrast, which is probably one of the only filters that I use if I'm using it in Photoshop, and that's this one here. As you can see here, it really makes things pop. So that's the before and that's the after. Just gives it a nice look. So we're going to apply this. The only thing we've got to be careful with when it comes to applying any sort of filters or any presets or anything in Photoshop or Lightroom for that matter is that we want to try and keep the skin tones as true as possible. As you can see here, Santina's got quite a nice kind of tanned colour anyways, but you'll find when we add this, she'll go a bit more orange, which we don't want to see. So obviously we've applied this, clouds look good, the building looks great, so we're just going to take the effect off our skin, and we do that by applying a mask. So this is me applying a mask, and all I'm going to do is paint in where we don't want to see this, so we don't want to see any effects to the skin. So I'm just painting over our face, our hands, Alan's hands as well, and we can see what we've painted by clicking the backslash here, and this shows us exactly where we've painted. So for example, if I didn't want to have the orange, the effect on the kind of orange of the building here, we can paint this off, and as you can see, that's where we've painted it, but we want to keep that there, so we're just going to undo that. So yeah, we'll just flatten that. So as it stands, I'm pretty happy with that. I would just convert this and export it, and that would be me. This would go up online for the client to see, and this is what I tend to do for any of the signature shots that I would post. So all we need to do now is just convert it and export it. So we'll just go back into convert to profile, convert from ProPhoto RGB to sRGB, and then I would just save it to our gallery, and that would be me done. So I just wanted to show you a wee edit from a daytime shoot, obviously just to show how I balance the ambient and background and stuff like that, and a bit more in detail about the final edit and how I go through things, and I wanted to just show you an in-depth edit to take out light stands. If I can avoid it, then I'll try and keep the light stand out the shot. Depends what kind of day it is. If it's a bright sunny day, then we want to try and keep the light as close as we can to them to maximise the power from it. And tend for the kind of wide angle shots that I do, the light stand 90% of the time is in the shot. For some of the closer up ones, we can keep it outside. But to be honest, there's not really any problem with taking it out. The kind of biggest challenge is when you've got a background like this, you've got a bit of architecture or something in the background here. It tends to be a bit more difficult. But in saying that, as I say, I could file this out in a few minutes and get it done. It's just practice and knowing your way about the tools in Photoshop. So hope you enjoyed that, guys. Any questions, fire away. Feel free to ask them. I'll do another one. A few people have asked me about the sparkler shots that I do, so I'll get one of them ones up showing you the before and after pictures of them, and we'll try and get one of the sunset ones done as well for you. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Just leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of the video. Cheers, guys, thanks.